Alright everybody, here's a scoop. I am at an undisclosed location because I don't know how long I'm going to be stuck here. I went to the shop today to get my tranny flushed. Yes, flushed. I'll tell you about that in a second. And my brakes bled. And I remembered the word this time. And to get an alignment done on my van. One of those things got done, and that's my transmission getting flushed. But they found that my brake lines were bleeding, or not bleeding, but leaking, and my reservoir was actually empty. So the new back brake lines that we just put on, something happened with the fittings. Either I over torqued them and they're leaking, or they were the wrong ones and they're leaking, but two of the fittings on the new brake lines are leaking. So I got to pay them to put a new brake line on my van, and then bleed it and the alignment. So basically I don't feel comfortable driving this thing until they do that. But after they do it, I'm going to be like totally in the clear, and it's going to feel great because I won't have to worry about it. Then I can drive myself to the junkyard and get the part for the e-brake. But having no e-brake and leaking brake lines, and my pedal goes down on its own halfway before there's any pressure, that makes me nervous, and I don't want to put my life at risk or anybody else's life at risk or property or anything else. So it's just not worth it to drive that. So I'm staying here tonight, and tomorrow I'll wake up when they open, and hopefully they can take care of it. They said they should be able to tomorrow, but they have been very busy because all the snowbirds are in town and everything, including myself. But we'll see. I might have another update video just like this tomorrow, and I'll know more. Who knows? So I had it flushed because, and I forget the way this went down, but when we pulled the engine in the tranny, we drained it, and the fluid looked awesome, and we looked inside of the transmission, and all the common wear areas that you could see without taking the thing apart looked fantastic. Tay said this thing must have been rebuilt right before you got it, because it looks amazing, and the fluid is just in great shape, and there's no burnt smell. It looks like it's brand new and everything. So that is good news, and the filter had nothing in it. There were no metal shavings. There was not much on the magnet either. So that's great, but as I said before, somewhere along the line, the tarp got blown off of the torque converter while it was outside while we were rebuilding it, and it rained inside of it, so water got in it. And I don't remember how it happened, how I realized, or why I opened the transmission after that, but for some reason I opened the transmission after that and discovered that it looked like a strawberry milkshake, and I was trying to figure out why it had water in it, because my entire cooling system is brand new. Except for the cooling, or the heater core, which I flushed really well. So usually when that happens, your radiator is leaking into the transmission cooler, which definitely is not the case here. The coolant's fine. So then I remembered that the torque converter was in the rain and everything, and then we changed the fluid and cleaned it out, and then we did it again. So we've changed the fluid 3 times now, and the filter 3 times. And it's still all milky and pink. So I was like, Tay, what do I do? Do I just keep changing this thing? I mean, this fluid is in there, so every time it's going across the clutch plates, it's potentially doing damage or wearing them out. And he's like, dude, just get it flushed. So I came here and told them the same thing, and they said the same thing. Yeah, just flush it. If your tranny is in good shape and you've changed the filter, you've changed the fluid several times, there's probably not any debris in there that's going to move around. There's probably not old oil sealing anything up or anything like that, so you'll probably be just fine. But that's a probably by both this shop and Tay, so there's a chance my tranny might be damaged and I might have to put a new transmission in it somewhere along the line. But hopefully that isn't anytime soon. Hopefully there is no damage, because I only drove it like 15 miles total, and it's only been in there for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks at the most. So hopefully I'm fine on that. The alignment's not going to be a big deal. It actually drives really straight the way it is. But it's going to be really nice to have a shop go through the brakes and go through the transmission and okay everything. Just brakes. I don't want to mess around with brakes, man. That's just asking for some real tragic situation to happen. So I'm not taking any chances. And luckily I made a lot in December compared to usual anyway. I made enough to cover this and get me to Oregon and everything else, so I'm totally set, and I just feel so blessed for that, man. So blessed. This van, by the time I get done with this, it's going to be over, but it's still just like, it seems like the last thing, and then there's one more thing, and then it seems like the last thing, and there's one more thing. I've also got a vacuum leak, and I've got to have the computer reset. The calibration from the crankshaft position sensor and the camshaft position sensor is off because it thinks that the old engine is still in here. So it thinks that it's misfiring, but it's not. So I've got to get that taken care of. It's a very common thing when you switch an engine. You've got to do this procedure. So I'm got to take it to the taste shop to do that. Got to go to the junkyard to get that brake part so that I can have my emergency brake back, and do those things after I get the brakes and the alignment done here. Hopefully both those things will get done tomorrow. I'll be okay if I don't get the alignment tomorrow, but at least the brakes, I gotta have that done. I can get the alignment done anywhere. It drives, like I said, it drives really straight, and it's not, I've gotten up to 50 in it, and it hasn't been an issue. We'll see how it does on the freeway, but I think it'll be all right for a while. Those front tires are worn all goofy because the front steering system was all messed up before anyway, so there was no way to perfectly align it. So they're really worn on the outside on one side anyway. So I'm not really worried about the tires. I'm just worried about the safety of the driving as far as if it can handle highway speeds with the imperfect alignment. So I'm going to try to get that done as soon as possible. But basically, that's it, guys. I will do my best to make another video tomorrow and update you. And I'm trying to make videos as often as possible. I'm no longer stuck in a backyard. And I just, you know, I meant to explain why I haven't been making videos in a video I made the other day, but somehow it evaded me. Basically, when I was working on the van, a lot of times people were helping me. And that's one reason I didn't want to be fumbling around with the camera while somebody's helping me fix my van. You know, I wanted to be right there with them, helping as much as I can. And the other reason is my hands were all greasy, and I didn't want to get my camera all messed up. So that's really the second reason. And the third is that there just wasn't much going on. It was a lot of waiting and a lot of just meticulous going through things. And there just wasn't much going on. I didn't want to put out a bunch of boring videos, you know. It just, I wouldn't want to watch that, you know, a video every day. Hey, we made a little progress, you know, we installed this, or we went through this, or whatever. That just, I don't know. It just seemed boring. The break was kind of nice though, because I got to like refigure out how I want to do these videos and try to kind of pull from what I've done that I liked and get rid of the things that, after re-watching them after a certain amount of time with a fresh perspective, I didn't really dig. So I'm going to try to pull from the best of my videos and make them the best that I can. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Love yourself. See you tomorrow. Woo!